Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. It's your Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. You are tuned into our fight prediction, man. This is where we give you the odds of the fight, who put a bit of money in your pocket, while at the same time we break down the fight on how we see it and give you our opinion on who we think gonna win this spectacular matchup, man, that we all looking forward to. We need a big fight like this, man. We've been clamoring for one for so long. We finally got one. Two guys in their prime that actually hate each other are about to fight for the opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez to be possibly undisputed champion of the world at super middleweight. That is none other than Benavides and Caleb Plant, man. I can't wait for this fight. I am beyond excited, bro. I'm so excited. It's kind of hard to put in words. The press conference is over with. Weigh-ins are over with. Seen the face-offs, man. We've seen how they look face-to-face. We've seen what the odds makers might have this fight as. We know what the talk is around the time when it comes to this fight. But we're going to break it down here at CTB and let you know how we feel. We might got a conflict of interest over here. You might never know. Let's speak on what you think about the overall shape of both fighters and what you think about the size advantage, quote unquote, that supposedly David Benavides has over Caleb Plant. Do you see much of a size advantage, surprisingly?
Going back to the press conference, I was kind of sizing them up and of course to the weigh-in, and I don't think David Benavides is as big as I thought he was next to Caleb Plant. I thought it was gonna be, looking at it from the eyes, I thought it would be noticeable how much bigger than he was, but it's not. Of course, he's a natural bigger guy, but I didn't see it as much of an issue as far as what I thought it could be in the beginning. So I think it could play some factor. Of course, this is gonna be probably the biggest guy that Plant has ever fought, but I don't think it's to the point where it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna decide the fight. I think the skills in this fight is gonna decide the fight, and the will and the drive is gonna decide this fight, and grit more than actual the measurements or the size.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Especially when it comes to the height. Like I honestly thought that David Benavides has, for some reason in my mind, I always thought he had like a huge height advantage over Plant.
Yeah, I did too.
But they neck to neck almost. They eye to eye. So that the height advantage that I thought it was really not as apparent. Like you said, it's not that apparent anyway. I don't know, maybe it's the shoes he had on or what. Or it could be anything. To me, it don't seem like that height advantage is as big. The weight advantage, though, we really won't see that until fight night. We really won't see how they rehydrate. I'm expecting David Benavides in stupid shape. He is spectacular shape. I'm still expecting him to rehydrate at least another 10 to 15 pounds. I think he's going to rehydrate over, in my opinion. But Caleb Plant might as well. He might hydrate a good 10 to 15 pounds. As far as the strengths and the weaknesses of the fight, let's try to break it down on both halves. What's your strengths and weaknesses you see David Benavides will have against Caleb Plant?
The strength that David Benavides will have against Caleb Plant, I would say, is, for one, I think he's the more powerful guy between the two. I think that David Benavides is a slow starter, but he comes on strong. He gets better as the fight going along, and I think Caleb Plant is the opposite. I think Caleb Plant is a fast starter and a slow finisher. In some of the fights I've seen him get in fights with guys. He knock him down early, and then he'll get in trouble, and then he'll hold on to win the fight, or it'll become interesting. So I think that one of the strengths that David Benavides had is going to be the second half of the fight, and when those legs slow down, and when he's going to have to sit there and have to fight in certain spots, not the whole fight. He's going to have to fight in certain spots. Can he survive the fury of punches from David Benavides? Because he's going to come on strong, and we're not talking about a guy that's going to throw one or two hard punches. He's going to throw 7 or 8 shots at a time. Is David Benavides going to be able to make him pay to make him stop throwing that many shots, or is he going to get overwhelmed by the combination of punches that David Benavides is going to throw in that fight? So I would say, to me, that's the main strength for David Benavides.
I agree. I think that's going to be one of them, but I think the main one's going to be hand speed. David Benavides has crazy hand speed, bro. Not just in close range when he threw his combinations. When he snapped his jab, he snapped that lead right hand. It's fast and it's snappy at range. He has a really, really long reach, and he uses it. He gets from point A to point B with that jab so quick that people look how big he is and they underestimate how fast he is. So I think Caleb Plant going to have to be on his P's and Q's when it comes to that range, man. He has to be all the way out of the range or all the way in the range if you want to avoid the fast hands of David Benavides. While Caleb Plant does have fast hands himself, I'm gonna give it a slight hand speed edge to Benavides. I think when it comes to hand speed, I don't think there's nobody at 168 who has hands as fast as David Benavides. That's my honest opinion. What's the script you see that Caleb Plant has that he can take advantage of with David Benavides?
I'm gonna give you two quick ones. I'm gonna say ring generalship. I think he's the better boxer, the more skilled boxer. I think that as far as counterpunching, I think that's gonna play a big role in this fight. And I say another thing that people sleeping on, the Canelo fight. I think he's been in there with the best of the best. He's been on the bigger stage, and I think that has prepared him for this moment. David Benavides, as great as we think he is, and good as he's looked through his career, we still have question marks because he's never been in the ring with somebody of this caliber. So I think that's one of Plant's strengths because he's been in there with a top-notch killer before, unlike David Benavides.
Yeah, I agree. That experience fight is going to be huge, man. I look, a lot of people been talking about that and saying this is pretty much David Benavides' toughest competition. But this is Canelo Alvarez. Not Canelo Alvarez. This is Caleb Plant's, second best opposition. So that their experience level is huge. I'm gonna go a little deep into it, man. I'm gonna say coaching gonna have a lot to do with this fight, bro. I think coaching is gonna play the big part. Even though I know Caleb Plant has just now teamed up with Breadman, I have faith in Breadman. And what I mean by that is not only is he an experienced coach, but this is also his second project against David Benavides. He actually had a fighter against David Benavides, man. He had Kyron Davis in there, who wasn't small. He was very, very undermatched in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. He was too small for David Benavides, but he was doing things in that fight, especially early in that fight, that gave Benavides some issues. And I thought watching that fight, going back and doing my film study, I thought watching that fight that if only he had, better footwork, he had better mechanics, and he had more pop on his punch, he would have gave Benavides fits in that fight. But he was just, like I said, he was outgunned in that fight. And I think Breadman seen that shit, and he learned that he know what he has in Caleb Plant right now. And he know it's the reason why he's telling Caleb Plant, yeah, you can sit down and knock this guy out. Because he sees something that he honestly feels that Caleb Plant has the ability to knock out David Benavides. He think Benavides is going to walk right into it. So I'm gonna go with the experience factor in the corner, man. As my Caleb Plant strength when it comes to this fight. What's the weaknesses you see, man, that David Benavides has that Caleb Plant might can take advantage of when it comes to this fight Saturday night?
I think he's underrated defensively a little bit, but I still think he got some of that Jared Hurd syndrome where he gets so offensive minded that his defensive responsibility gets bad, and he get caught with a lot of shots, especially in the first half of the fight. Sometimes he's willing to walk through the foul without really putting his guards up just to give you 3 or 4, but he'll take 2. And you can get away with that with lower competition. But with Caleb Plant, I don't know if he can get away with that. He can get hurt. Thing that with Jared Hurd was walking through guys. He was taking punishment, but it was more of I can take more than you can take, and you gonna break before I break. That may not work with Plant. So I think that's like his biggest flaw to me is that he's not defensively responsible when he's on the offense, and when he's on the prowl is being the aggressor, and he can't do that with Caleb Plant. He has to be more careful and more careful and calculated in this fight. To me,
yeah, I agree with that. That's a big one. I agree with that one. I'm gonna say foot speed is the obvious one. I think David Benavides, he has to have his feet planted to throw shots, especially when he throws combinations. So I'm gonna use that as my weakness that I think Caleb Plant gonna take advantage of. Because like you said earlier, Caleb Plant is strength is ring generalship. He's gonna circle the ring mainly to David Benavides' right side. He's gonna circle to David Benavides' right side to avoid the left hook and to take the jab away. So I think he's gonna be circling to David Benavides' right. David Benavides is going to have to find his footing to throw that right hand from that angle. He's going to have to find his footing. He's going to have to either plant his feet, but most importantly, he's going to learn how to not hop when he punch. He has a habit of overreaching sometimes. When people try to pull out from him, he has a habit of reaching in and hopping in to reach in. So I think that can cause trouble, man. I think the ring generalship, the circling the ring is going to be big. How long can Caleb Plant do it for? It's the main question. And that's what's going to come into our prediction on what you think about that. But what's some of the weaknesses you see Caleb Plant have that David Benavides can take advantage of on Saturday night?
I would say Caleb Plant's biggest weakness is to me for this fight is that he has lost. So he has, I think, he don't have the invincibility that David Benavides has had. And wear and tear. Because that Canelo fight, I think this fight to me and you is a 50-50 fight. Even though in the odds, David Benavides is slightly favored. I think it's a 50-50 fight. And I think you agree it's a close fight. We've been back and forth. Probably you've been thinking about who you want to pick. And I think that what can separate this fight is the wear and tear. David Benavides has not been in a war. He has not been stopped. He has not taken a beating that Caleb Plant took at the last 3 or 4 rounds of that fight with Canelo. So, for one, that invincibility factor is gone for Caleb Plant. Why it's not for David Benavides, because he's never lost and he's never been in trouble. And also the wear and tear of going through that grueling fight with Canelo might be the slight difference of who wins and who loses this fight.
That's a good one too. Like I said, the one that know how to lose usually be the one that folds first. That's a good point. But I'm gonna say gas tank, man, because like you said earlier in your breakdown, Caleb Plant does start a fight fast. He comes out quick. He'll knock a guy down, and then he'll start slowing up as the fight go on. When it came to Canelo knew that, so Canelo was throwing all kind of body shots and landing shots to his body. He knew he was having a problem catching him in the head, so he focused on the body more, and they only tired him out faster. I see David Benavides throwing a lot of body shots. I think he's going to go to the body a lot in this fight of Caleb Plant. He even called it in his press conference when he said he's going to go to the body and zap them legs, take them legs away from him. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Caleb Plant gas tank, man. He's going to have to circle the ring a lot. Mainly to Caleb Plant, mainly to David Benavides' right side. I'm throwing little tippers out there. He's going to have to circle to David Benavides' right side all night and stay out of the range. And like I said, Benavides got really, really fast hands. So you get caught sitting down too long, or you get caught on those ropes there too long, you can expect a combination coming towards you. He's going to throw punches and bunches. And David Benavides, he tell everybody that he's the most accurate super middleweight right now. He throws a lot of punches, but he lands a lot of punches. He know how to punch, he know where to punch, and he know when to punch. So if you kill a Plant, man, you can't be sitting in the corners trying to play rope-a-dope. You can't sit on the ropes and try to catch your breath. You're going to have to constantly either stay moving or you're going to constantly stay punching. You can't take no time off because you're going to get caught with something. All right, man. What's the you want to do the odds first, or you want to do we do the odds first and then we do our prediction?
Do the odds.
Yep.
This is interesting. Right now, David Benavides is a slightly over a 3-1 favorite. So pretty much, if you don't understand betting, if you throw $100 on $300 on David Benavides, you win $100. Caleb Plant is a 2 plus 230 underdog. So if you throw $100 on Caleb Plant, you can win 230. Now, as far as the method of victory, Caleb Plant by decision is plus 400. Caleb Plant by knockout is plus 750. So 7.5 times your money. A draw, which is a close 50-50 fight, is plus 1,600 for a draw. So that means if you throw $5 on the draw, you can win $80. Something to think about. And David Benavides for a stop is negative 145. So pretty much that means if you throw, you have to throw $145 to win $100. But David Benavides on points is plus 500. So if you think he's gonna win, but you think Caleb Plant can survive, you can get 5 times your money by taking David Benavides for a decision. So it's a lot of interesting ways you can go with this fight, man. I don't know. You can make some money if you guess right.
It seems the odds makers got it going Caleb Plant are going David Benavides way by knockout. It seems they feel like David Benavides is pretty much going on a dog walk Caleb Plant. He's a live. Caleb Plant's a live dog in this fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what you call a live dog when it comes to betting. When the odds makers have it going one way, but if you have any boxing odds and any boxing acumen with you, like my boy Mon said, this is the 50-50 fight. So for them to have it as wide open for David Benavides in that way, and by knockout of all things, like Caleb Plant only been stopped one time. He has one loss. It's not like he's known to get knocked out around here. So that, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's knowing what I know, it's know what I seen, man. I'm putting some money on Caleb Plant by knockout. This is my opinion. I'm also gonna put a little bit of money on David Benavides by decision as well, because I think both of those bets are the highest payouts that I feel like are the safest bets.
I agree with you. I got to think about it, man. On Saturday, the draw is very tempting. I might throw a couple dollars on the draw because it's 16-1 for a draw. Caleb Plant by decision is what I would probably prefer, but at plus 400. But then, if you think David Benavides can stop him late, and you just don't want to go with a knockout, I would think it would be late, So if you take 10 to 12, that's almost 4 times your money because it's plus 390. So you can take David Benavides between 10 and 12 and throw out $25 to win $100.
So they even got him stopping playing early then. By the odds.
No. The smallest odds if you're gonna group bet on rounds is 10 to 12. Now if you take 4 to 6, it's plus 600. So if you can guess the round group, you better off than just taking a negative 145 because you're gonna have to bet kind of big to win some good money on David Benavides for the start. And that's kind of dangerous in a 50-50 fight. So you probably want to go with the group betting round, but it depends on when you think you'll get rid of him. Do you trust David Benavides with the 6 round stoppage? Which I think is ridiculous if you just want to take the 6th round. But if you want to pick a late stoppage, which a lot of experts would take, you can win about 4 times your money. Or, like you said, if you want to take Caleb Plant for a stoppage, that is almost 8 times your money right now. So if you can play it right, you can make some hella coins for this fight.
That's what I'm at. Man, it's made me more and more excited for this fight, man. Not only the odds, I could possibly win some money this weekend, but I'm gonna enjoy a good fight at the same time. You can't beat that weekend right there, man. All right, man, it's that time, man. It's time to nut up or shut up, man. Put our predictions down, man, on this tough ass fight. I'm pretty sure just making this content, we probably went back and forth in our mind 5 times of who we gonna pick. It is that close of a fight, bro. It's a 49-51. It's a 49-51 split either way. So who you get that 51% chance of winning on Saturday night?
I think it's gonna be predictable in the first half of the fight. I think Plant gonna come out and he's gonna make David Benavides look silly at certain points of this fight. I think he'll be up probably 4 rounds to 2 in the first 6 rounds of this fight, and then he will start to slow down. I want Plant to win. I want to believe that he can keep David Benavides off him, but I don't think he's faced anything like David in his career, and it's going to be a shocker. I'm going to lean towards the late stoppage. I'm going to say the 11th round, David Benavides, accumulation of punches and punishment, and maybe an early knockdown in the 10th round, maybe another one in the 11th. And in the 11th round, because of the accumulation of punches, the referee starts the fight. David Benavides wins. He calls out Canelo for an undisputed showdown in 168. But I will be rooting for Plant though. I just love Plant, man. But I got to take my bias out and just make the prediction. But I will be rooting for Plant.
Mine's just strictly unbiased. Like I said, I watched a lot of film this week, man. I watched a whole lot of both guys from early in the days to their most recent fights. I'm just going to say I got Caleb Plant winning by knockout, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and say it for a couple reasons. The experience level is one. This is David Benavides' first time at this level. While people are used to seeing him being a monster and seeing him run over people, he was running over people who are lesser competition. I broke down the real fight from both guys. I watched the real fight when he fought Plant, and I watched when he fought Benavides. The real took David Benavides' punch fairly well. The cut over his eye is what caused the stoppage. He was getting his ass beat as well. He was getting beat up pretty bad, especially before the referee stopped it. Caleb Plant was on another level. Caleb Plant broke the rail down systematically. And he knew that shot was going to be there. And Breadman had the game plan laid. You can see it from the first round how he knew that hook was going to land. He even knew the double hook was going to set it up. He even knew the hook to the body and then wait for him to throw and then throw the hook to the head. The whole thing was systematically broken down by Breadman. I think Breadman, like I said, this is the second bite of the apple when it comes to David Benavides. I think in that fight when he had Caron Davis circling around to David Benavides' right side, because you watch that fight, the entire first half of that fight, Caron Davis was circling around to David Benavides' right hand. So much so that the announcer was like, wow, that's kind of dangerous. You stuck into the man's power hand. And then you hear the guy say, no, David Benavides' power hand is his left hook. So he's circling away from the left hook. And also you're taking away his jab, taking his jab away. David Benavides was having problems landing on Caron Davis, and Caron Davis was getting off on him, on David Benavides. The only reason why he lost, in my opinion, was one, he was too small, and two, he started sitting still and started trying to trade with David Benavides. I don't see Plant making that same mistake. And if he does trade with Benavides, it's going to be in small, very, very small spurts. So, but at the meantime, like you said, Caleb Plant start early, Benavides start kind of late. I see that hook is going to land, and David Benavides' chin is going to get tested. It's going to be tested repeatedly. I think Caleb Plant is gonna shock the world, man, and knock out David Benavides. That is my prediction. If I had to call around, I see it's gonna be mid. It's gonna be mid to late rounds. Between 6th and 9th.
That is a huge prediction right there, and I ain't mad at it because everything you said made so much sense that my brain is fried right now. And I'm torn on where to go with this, but I'm gonna stick with my prediction, man. But it's gonna be a hell of a night for boxing fans, man. But yeah, I see where you coming from, man. I say you better throw about $25-$30 on that knockout because that gets you almost $200. So I need you to throw about $25 on it.
I plan on, like I said, we both calling for the stoppage in the fight. We just going for different opinions on who actually think gonna win. But I'm just like you though. Like you said, I root for Plant. I'm not blind, but it's still a 49 to 59%. Like David Benavides is still a monster in there. So I don't mind. But this is one of those fights I don't mind being wrong on. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind whoever wins this fight. But I just, breaking down the fight and what I seen and the experience level, I just don't think David Benavides. People are quick to say that Benavides. People are quick to say, that Caleb Plant has not seen a fighter like Benavides. But I don't think Benavides has seen a fighter anywhere close to Caleb Plant, and it's going to be very much apparent in this fight. You got anything else to add to this topic, man, or this fight? I cannot wait, bro. I'm being honest, can't wait.
I think we covered it all, man. Talking about the fight got me so excited. I can't wait Saturday night.
Most definitely. But with that being said, man, this is of course your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy Jay Slay. Say peace to him, man.
All right, everybody, please subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when we drop, comment, and like. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace and love, and we out of here. Take care.